Hey guys, so today I'm going to take you through a quick rundown of what the programming template looks like, how to read it, and what sort of information I want you to give me so I can make sure that I'm programming properly for you. So this is roughly what a programming template looks like. I do adjust it sometimes depending on individual circumstance, so yours might look slightly different, but chances are it won't because this is the baseline that I use. So to begin with, starting in this top left-hand side, we've got some key technical work-ons for this block. So that's a reminder for you and for me about what are some of the main things that we're focusing on to try and fix throughout the training block, no matter how long it is. So after our key technical work-ons, on the left-hand side, we have what day we're doing. So day 1, day 2, day 3, could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on how flexible we are. So day 1, warm up 1. So we're doing day 1 today. We go up to warm up 1 and we perform these exercises. Generally, the warm ups will be done in a circuit fashion. They might not be, so just keep an eye on the rest, but generally they will be. If I've got obscure exercises in there that you don't know how to do, just shoot me a message and I'll give you a YouTube link. Or if they're really obscure and I know you won't know what they are, I'll just pop a YouTube link into the spreadsheet so you can just click on it and see how I want the exercise performed. So after you've done your warm-ups, you jump over to the main body of the spreadsheet. You can see here this person's got front squats, clean and jerks, and snatch pulls on day 1. You really only need to worry about the orange part. Don't worry about this grey stuff. That's more there so the formulas work and I can get your predicted percentages depending on what you're doing for the day. So you can see here the person's got front squats. They're doing 5 sets of 3 and there's 2 to 3 minutes between each set. The person will be doing them at 97.5 or at 70%, which is roughly 97.5 kilos. So here I've given you a low end and a high end for where I want the weights performed. You can, this is really up to you in terms of what you're doing. But I would say, if you feel tired, you don't feel up to it, push towards the low end. But if the fire's hot, you can cook and you can push higher towards the high end. So after the person's done the front squats, I want you to fill in the green zone in particular. So we'll say today we did 97.5 kilos, so we did exactly as planned, and then RPE. So RPE is how hard it was out of 10. So basically, if it was an RPE 10, you couldn't do any more reps or any more weight. An RPE 9, you could do 1 more rep. RPE 8, you could do 2 more reps. RPE 7, 3 more reps, so on and so forth. So this person had 97.5. It was a pretty easy day, so it was an RPE 7. This gives a predicted daily max. Don't worry too much about that. That's for me. If something comes up throughout the workout, say groin was sore today, throw it in the athlete notes. Then I can read that. I can get that feedback. Of course, you can shoot it to me via Messenger or whatever we're using to communicate. But that's just a good reference point for you and for me for next time we come to that workout, and we can address why the groin's sore, what we can do to make sure that doesn't become an ongoing problem. So we'll do that for all of our exercises throughout the day. So we'll just, all right, so we did everything as planned. We had RPE 8, that was RPE 9, that was a pretty hard rep. And then our snatch pulls were an RPE 7. So this gives me a rough idea about how hard you found the workout. And then you can add some more notes in. So you finished the workout, but we've still got some accessories to do, not quite done yet. Accessory number 2, shoot over to accessory number 2, and similar to the warm-up, you just will normally perform these in a circuit sort of fashion. Again, these are largely going to be injury prevention based, or just making sure we've got a holistic approach to your training and we're ticking all the boxes. So finally, you've finished the workout for the day. What do I want you to do next? Basically, I just want a rough time of how long the session took you. So a session length, that's from when you start the main body of the workout, so your front squats, to the end of the accessory. So we do this in minutes. So we'll pretend this was a 90-minute session, and the RPE was 8. So here, RPE is just basically how hard you found it out of 10. It's a rough number. Don't get too wound up in it, but If you go, oh, last week it was an 8, this week was a bit harder, I put 8.5 in, something like that. It just gives me a bit of an idea about how hard the sessions are and how long they're taking you. Finally, so sometimes I've got percentages written in here. Sometimes I just won't have a percentage and I'll have something like RPE 8. If it's RPE 8, that means that I'm not going to tell you sort of what weight I'm expecting you to do, and you're going to need to be a little bit more autonomous in your training and make that decision for yourself. So that's something else that you might see. Or I might just put an 8 in there, and that's me saying I think it'll be an RPE 8, which for this would be about 86%. And that's giving you more of an idea about what I want. So there are two other things that you might see in terms of the percentage or the RPE. I'll throw that back to 70%. And then down here, you've just got a little box which reminds you how RPE is used again. And there's also some of the basic abbreviations that I might use throughout the training block. So if you've got any questions on how the spreadsheet works or anything like that, feel free to shoot me a message. But hopefully this has been pretty informative to get you up to scratch on how to use the program and implement it in your training.